Welcome to today's 30-minute lower body workout to lengthen and strengthen. You won't need any weights or straps today, just yourself and a mat. We'll begin class with a 5-minute warm-up, so let's jump right in. Coming onto your mat, point your toes out just slightly and bring your hands to your heart center, sinking your hips back into squat. Inhaling to standing and exhale to squat. And as you inhale to standing, be sure to press your hips all the way through to the front of your mat. Going as low as you can. And today we'll be bringing a lot of heat to our legs with some challenging exercises, but we'll counter this with some deep stretches so that our muscles are able to strengthen and also lengthen. All right, go ahead and turn your toes towards the top of your mat and sink your hips back for chair. Your thighs are parallel to the mat. And then exhale, straighten into a forward fold. Inhaling to chair, exhaling, forward fold. Moving at your own pace here. Waking up the hamstrings and thighs. And take notice of any tightness in the back of your legs. Maybe one leg feels tighter than the other. And just be mindful of how your body is feeling today. And on your next inhale, sink your hips back for chair and hold. And pulse, pulse. This can be the tiniest movement here. Stay strong, you can do this. And release, exhaling as you forward fold, straightening through your legs. Hang here for a minute, rocking your hips from side to side. Straightening through one leg and then the other. Then bend your legs, sink your hips back into your low squat and pulse. And pulse, pulse, pulse. Great job. Exhale, release, straightening through your legs. Plant your palms to the mat and step your legs back for a downward facing dog. Pedaling out your feet. And you can rock them from one side to the other side if you like. And then inhale your right leg up, exhale, stepping it forward, lowering your left knee to the mat, and then heel toe your right foot out to the edge of your mat, bringing both palms to the inside of your right leg for lizard. Coming onto your forearms if your hips allow, and you can use your right palm to gently open up your right hip if you'd like. Remembering to breathe. Unclench your jaw. And then walk your right foot back to center, pressing through your palms into a downward dog. And inhale your left leg up, stepping it forward. Your right knee lowers to the mat, stepping your left foot to the outside of the mat. Lowering onto your forearms if your body allows. Breathing into any tight spaces. Finding your edge. Seeing how low you can sink into your hips. Remembering to breathe into it. Bring your left foot back to center and press up into a downward dog. Jump or step your feet to your hands and hang here, inhaling in through your nose and out through your mouth. Relaxing your torso completely down to your thighs. And then slowly roll to standing. Step your left foot back for a backwards lunge. Your left knee taps the mat. For 9, 8, keeping your chest lifted. 7, 6, 5, staying firm in that right leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Shake your right foot out and then step your right foot back for a backwards lunge. Tapping your right knee to the mat for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Awesome job. Shake your left foot out and then inhale your hands up overhead. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back, and exhale, plant your hands to the mat and step your legs back for a plank, slowly lowering to the mat. Reach your right arm back, grabbing your right ankle, pulling your foot towards your glutes, doing the same on the left side. This is a gentle quad stretch. And be mindful of your knees, so make sure that your foot isn't angled away from your glutes, but your feet are pressing firmly in towards those glutes. We want to protect our knees. And gently release, sending your legs out straight and extending your arms overhead for pulses. Begin to pulse your arms and legs off the mat, staying mindful of your low back, tightening through your core. And release, forehead rest on the mat, catching your breath. Then extend your arms again and pulse for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant your palms at the top of your ribs and press back into a wide-legged child's pose, countering the back body pulses. And you can gently sway your hips from side to side to open up your hips more. This would be a tiny movement, so you might not even be able to tell I'm doing this on the video, but I can definitely feel it in my hips. All right, and come up into your tabletop, keeping your right toes pointed. Lift your right knee up, tapping your right knee to the mat, and then extend your right leg and tap your toes to the left side of the mat and then the right. Bend your knee, tap your knee to the mat for a donkey kick, and then extend. Tap your toes to the left side of the mat and then to the right, bending through that knee and tapping to the mat. We're doing this for a count of 10. Move at your own pace, and we'll meet back in tabletop. Remembering to breathe and imagining as each muscle is working to extend and contract, as these tiny movements will help tone the back of your legs. Almost done. You've got it. Nicely done. We'll do the same on our lefts. Lifting your left knee, toes are pointed. Tap your knee to the mat, and then extend your left leg and tap to the right of your mat and then the left. Bending into your knee, tapping it to the mat, and extend, sending your toes to the right and then the left for a count of 10. You've got this. Keep on going. All right, awesome job. Now our legs are definitely warmed up. Get a drink of water if you need, and then tuck your toes and send your hips back for a downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet. And then inhale your right leg up, exhale, step it forward, coming into a crescent. Inhaling your arms up overhead, and then pulse. Remembering to breathe. And pulse, pulse, sinking into your hips. Bring your hands to heart center, holding still in your lunge, and then send your weight into your right foot, hinging forward into Warrior 3. Your arms are actively reaching out in front of you. Your left toes are pointed straight behind you. And then send your arms back for airplane, challenging your balance. And don't worry if your legs are shaking, that just means those muscles are working. Lower your palms to the mat for a standing half splits. You can keep a generous bend in that right knee if you'd like. And then lower your left leg, inhaling into a crescent lunge. And exhale, framing your right foot with your hands. Lower your left knee to the mat and straighten through your right leg for a half splits. Be sure that both hips are pointed towards the top of your mat as you bend into your right knee, coming into a lunge. And then exhale, extend into half splits. Inhaling, bend your right leg. And exhale, extend to half splits. Inhaling into lunge, and then exhale, send your right leg back for a downward facing dog, hinging forward into plank, chaturanga push-up, inhaling to an upward dog, and exhaling into a downward dog. Lower your knees to the mat, coming into tabletop for fire hydrants. Careful not to cave in your upper body. Lift your left leg out and then down, keeping your left toes flexed for a count of 10. Getting into those glutes. Awesome job. And then for the right side for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Tuck your toes and send your hips back for a downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and exhale, stepping it forward into a crescent lunge. Inhaling your hands up and then pulse. Seeing how low you can go in your hips. You've got it. Stay strong in that upper body. Bring your hands to your heart center, holding in your lunge, and then send your weight into your left foot, hinging forward into Warrior 3. Your arms are actively reaching in front of you. And then send your arms behind you for airplane. Staying firm in your left foot. Your hands lower to the mat for standing half splits. And lower your right leg, coming back into crescent, sinking into your hips. Your hands come to frame your left foot, lowering your right knee to the mat, and straighten your left leg for half splits. And then inhale, bend into your left leg for a lunge, and exhale, splits. And again. And adding a little bit of movement to these stretches is the best way to increase flexibility in our bodies. All right, and then send your left leg back behind you, coming into a downward dog. Move through a vinyasa, and then we'll come to meet in all fours. Lowering onto your forearms, send your right leg out straight behind you, and then crunch the knee to the mat. We're going to do some extended donkey kicks for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Moving to the left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, walk your knees out to the edges of your mat, and they might come off the mat a little. Your feet are pointed out to the edges of your mat. Your toes are flexed, sinking your hips back for frog pose. And this is an intense inner thigh stretch, so just remember to breathe. We've warmed up those muscles, and now we're seeing if we can't release a little bit to help to lengthen those muscles. And make your way back into tabletop, coming onto your seat and lower onto your back. Don't worry, this is not the cool down of the class. All right, so you're on your back now. Cross your right leg over your left, stretching into your right IT band, looking over your right shoulder. And then come back to center and cross your left leg over your torso, looking over your left shoulder. And then come back to center. Plant the soles of your feet on the mat, preparing for bridge. Rolling up one vertebra at a time. And if you'd like to challenge yourself, lift your right foot up off the mat and pulse. For a count of 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower to the mat, and then lift your left knee up, or the sole of your left foot up off the mat and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering the soles of your feet. And send your hips up into a bridge, lifting your heels off of the mat, and then lowering your heels for a count of 10. And my legs always shake so much during these. Keep going. Stay strong in your front body. And then exhale, lower to the mat. Awesome job. Rock your knees from side to side. And then make your way into a yogi squat at the top of your mat, using your elbows to open up your thighs. And this doesn't have to be a perfect yogi squat, but you're working to get your chest shining forward. It's okay if your heels come up off the mat. And then straighten through your legs, coming into a forward fold, swaying your hips from side to side, taking deep inhales and exhales, allowing yourself to release here for a moment. And then slowly roll up to standing. We're going to do a minute cardio burst, coming to face the long edge of your mat for jumping jacks. Keeping a generous bend in your knees, staying low in your legs. You've got this. The timer's already started. Keep on going. Getting that body moving. And I tell you what, this Arizona sun was beating down on me today. Even though it's still technically winter here, it is already so hot here in Arizona. All right, almost done. Great job. Fix your hair, get a drink of water, and we'll meet at the top of the mat. When you're ready, inhale your hands up overhead, exhale into a forward fold, inhaling to a flat back, and then exhale, step back into plank, chaturanga, push up to the mat, inhaling to upward dog, and then exhaling to down dog. Inhale your right leg up, exhale, stepping it forward for a crescent lunge, inhaling your hands up, and then pulse. And pulse. Bring your hands to heart center, sending weight into your right leg, and then hinge forward into warrior 3. Your hands are actively reaching in front of you. And then send your arms back behind you for airplane. Lower your hands to the mat, and then bend into your right knee, tapping your left knee to the outside of your right calf. Inhale to straighten, exhale to crunch. Doing this for a count of 10. You've got this. Keeping your left leg lifted, do tiny pulses to the sky. And pulse, pulse, pulse. Great job. Send your left leg back for crescent. And then lowering your hands, they come to frame your right foot. Lowering your left knee to the mat. Straighten into your right leg for half splits. Bending into lunge. Exhale, straightening your right leg. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, lunge. Send your right leg back to downward dog and then move through your vinyasa. We'll come to meet in a downward dog. And then inhale your left leg up, exhale, stepping it forward for crescent. Inhaling your hands up and pulse. Your hands come to heart center, sending your weight into your left leg as you hinge forward into warrior 3. And send your arms back for airplane. Lower your palms to the mat, bending through both legs as your right knee comes to the outside of your left calf. Inhaling and exhaling with the movement, finding what feels right. Then keep that right leg lifted and tiny pulses to the sky. Great job. Lower that right leg, coming up into crescent. And then exhale, your hands come to frame that foot, lowering your right knee and exhaling over your left leg as you straighten into splits. Inhaling into lunge, exhaling as you straighten your left leg. Syncing the body with the breath with the movement. Send your left leg back for a downward dog and then move through your vinyasa. Coming into your downward dog and then lower down onto all fours. Bring your right leg forward, sending your left leg straight behind you for pigeon. You can stay up on your fingers here or lower down over your right thigh. Your forehead can come to rest on the mat or a block. Sending your breath to any tension in your right hip. Relaxing through your forehead, your jaw. Releasing your shoulders away from your neck. And then send your right leg back, stepping your left leg forward. Either staying up on your fingertips or exhaling over your left thigh. Breathing into your left hip. Awesome job today, guys. Go ahead and slowly walk your way back, making your way into a downward dog. And then lower your knees to the mat and send your hips back onto the top of your ankles. Your hands come to rest on your palms, rocking from side to side here. And that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed today's practice to lengthen and strengthen. Be on the lookout for a 30-minute arm sculpt coming soon. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button as I post new videos every Monday. Namaste.